The Art of Completing Successful Assignments, and this is a presentation designed to assist you in getting better results on all of your assignments for this particular class. So let's look at preparation for the assignment. Primarily, some of the things you need to look at. The writing structure is extremely important. What is the message that you're sending to your audience? And in most cases, that's going to be your instructor. The approach that you take in order to help kind of formulate the framework that you pull together, and then the closing aspect of how you are able to cap off your assignment overall. So let's look at writing structure first. You have to have and will have a topic, and that topic is generated based upon the question that's posed for you in the writing assignments. And so you want to introduce that topic. Now, that's not just a function of restating the question, it's more a function of you understanding the topic that needs to be discussed and addressed in your development of the assignment. There's a central point that you want to be able to get across to your audience. So make sure that that central point is strong, has been researched, and is thoroughly developed in its thought process. And then you're looking at the grammar, the vocabulary that you use. It's not a minimal exercise. It's actually an optimization exercise, meaning that you're going to put forth the best efforts you possibly can. And then last but not least, come into your conclusion. This is your summary where you pull everything together as if it's not explicitly clear at that point. You want to make sure that it is. So you need to be able to summarize and how you pull together your work there. And then practice. And what I mean by practice is you probably are going to be in a position where your writing is evolutionary, where you are starting to get better, or you should get better over the course of the semester and our time together in the writing. So what you write initially should look different from what you write at the conclusion or toward the end of all the assignments that you have. So let's look at that message that you're conveying to the audience. So usually what happens in this evolutionary process that we talked about in the previous slide is that you're learning to take control of your actions and therefore my answers. So this is the kind of the first step in addressing these assignments and coming to some type of answer and conclusion. Now, as you start to develop and work a little bit more, that should change a little bit. Your message should change to say more of, I have control of my actions and my answers through my research and this expansion of my knowledge base. So this means that I should probably also feel a little more confident about what I'm writing. And then last but not least, if you can and quickly you want to be able to work through how you develop this message, you want to be able to get into a position where you say you have control, or in this case, I should say, command of the material, and I'm submitting for review and will demonstrate that ability and expertise. So this is a confidence builder in as much as how you approach things as it is in how you write and are able to articulate your message. And that leads us into approach. You have to understand the questions completely, and that's so critical in the process. And if you don't, you need to ask for some form of clarification if needed. And make sure that you develop the answers based upon the research and work, and you don't want to ever submit an assignment answer and response based upon what you think. It's not so much what you think, it's what you learn that's most important. And how are you going to learn? Your knowledge may be a base or starting point, but it's the research and work that you do to add to that that's going to be extremely important in separating you and your response from others. Application by storytelling is always important if you are articulate enough or you feel comfortable enough in storytelling and giving a pertinent professional or personal example, I think is always important, because that can help to demonstrate that you go from control to command of the material, and you are in a position to demonstrate that in your writing and your response on the assignment. And then last but not least, you restart. There's a restart at every single assignment. So do not get comfortable with the fact that you might have done well, or you obviously don't want to get comfortable with not doing as well as you'd like, but you get a restart on each new assignment, looking to improve the process as you move forward. So the closing aspect of it again is seeking to understand, for example, what if you had a 2 or 3 part question? You need to answer all parts equally. And a lot of times on the assignments, we'll see where people are not doing this. They'll address a part they want to address versus equally addressing both parts, or in some cases, answering why or what makes a person think in that particular way. Ask for feedback, and you have to ask for feedback each and every time. And this is a process that you learn in the business, marketing, diversity, and management environment, and it's extremely important because it will not be handed to you without you understanding how to request it. Learn from your mistakes. This is how you develop and you put yourself in a position to get better. Mistakes will be made. That's not the issue. It's what you do with the mistake that's most important in the process. And then understand how to apply those corrections over and over again so that you have this building block that you develop in how you address the assignments. And then you look to always be able to give your best work when you're putting these building blocks together. Always. That's the objective. So at this point, you're probably going to have some questions, or at least you should, in theory, ask yourself a few questions about where I might stand. So you need to get an early start in understanding the process of these assignments and make sure that you've got a good grasp on them so that when you look to be graded on these, you've got a good understanding of what you're graded on, how you're graded, and why that grade came up as it did. And what's most important is that you earn that grade. That grade is not given to you in regard to these assignments. So here's your final thought for the day in preparation. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something is more important than fear.